Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Come in week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked ass kingdom, known in the scriptures as Babylon the Great, but known to you as America. First, before we get kicked off, we got a the Mississippi Jackson Camp visiting with us brothers, you know. So we out here building today. But having said that, we're gonna turn to the east. Give them the honor and praise to the Most High Himself.
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushai Ba'Shem, B'Kakudah.
Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone, men who have labored and suffered in this truth for over 30 plus years, making their lives and their bodies a living sacrifice. Shalom to the hopefully elected 1/3 of the nation of Israel, beginning with the men, women, and children, as well as Akim, not named GMS, they walk in one body, one spirit, and Yahushai. To you all, Shalom.
Shalom.
Hey. Just gonna kick it off, man. Hey, we in the season of the downfall of Babylon the Great. The season of down with Babylon the Great, aka y'all know America. America. So I'm gonna just give it off to them.
Yep. Hey, if you can get that scripture in Revelation, we'll talk about
Revelation. This is Revelation, chapter 18, verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone, like a great millstone.
Yep.
And cast it into the sea.
Now let's think about that visual. You got a great millstone. In the ancient world, you crush the seed of certain things, all right, with the great millstone, a grinder, right? All right, so you're talking about a heavy block. All right, don't tell them how heavy it is. All right, a heavy block, don't tell them how heavy it is. And you can drop it into the ocean. And you look at the effect of that splash once you drop it into the ocean. Go ahead.
Saying, thus with the violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down.
So what the angel is saying, with that same impact, is how Babylon is going to be thrown down.
Right.
So what is the Most High going to create? It's going to have a similar impact to Babylon, a whole country being destroyed, man. Millions of missiles.
Right.
Because you have a block, right? And it drops in the ocean. And it creates a big splash. All right? That's a visual of missiles hitting America and creating a way. A bezel of destruction, a nuclear wind. So that same splash is the visual of the nuclear wind, the impact. You remember the movie Terminator, Sarah Connor, and she was standing on the gate, and that nuclear wind came to her, and she was decimated, man. It's the skeletons, man. That's what balance. So that great city Babylon be destroyed.
Can I say something?
Yep.
And from a spiritual sense, hey, that great millstone is really the campus.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, it's nuclear destruction in the spirit. You know, remember what the scripture said in Thessalonians, how the Most High was going to destroy this kingdom by his mouth. Hey, that's the spirit of his mouth. Hey, back when you was born, sorry.
As a matter of fact, all right, go ahead with that. You got something for it.
And shall be found no more at all.
Shall be found no more at all, man. I have seen Satan's lightning fall from heaven. Those missiles are going to make America obsolete. America's going to be a black sandbox on the planet Earth, man. All right? Because that's going to be an example, because going back to the Jews, it said that Sodom was an example of the rebellion of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai.
What sodomy is,
All right? Like sodomy.
yeah.
All right,
Burn it.
Burn it. I'm sorry. So, and the scripture says the city that is spiritually Sodom in Egypt. All right, but in sample goes back to the word sample. Like an example goes back to the word sample. What the Most High did with Sodom and Gomorrah was a sample of what he's about to do to America for the same wickedness, man. All right, all right, and how the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. That sulfur, all right, yeah, that brimstone. It was up to the elements to destroy it. All right, you got it, bro.
I got 2 pieces. It's Jeremiah 49 and 17 to 18. Also, Edom shall be a desolation.
Edom. Hey, confirmation. What's the another word for Edom? What's the house of Edom? America, man. You talk to any foreigner, and we say the word America, they think of Californians. Yeah, when you talk to any foreigner, and they think, what pictures pop up into their mind when they think of, I want to go to America, or when they think of Americans, the American dream, they think of Edomites. It's the house of Edom. Go ahead from the top of the rocket shop.
Also, Edom shall be a desolation.
What's another word for desolation? Desert. That's what something is deserted. Desert. All right? They sandbox. Your house should be a desolation. All right?
Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished.
Yep, because you're going to be, what's that word, like a landmark? It's like, this is an example of rebellion towards that great power. Even the heathen, their mindset is, this is an example of rebellion towards that great power. Here's the movie Planet of the Apes. See that, bro?
And shall hiss at all the plagues thereof,
Yep.
as in the overthrow.
You can add the plagues as well. Revelation 18 chapter. That's those nuclear destruction.
Because what does a plague do, man? A plague eats your body.
Right.
A plague, like, decomposes. I think
Breaks you down.
breaks you down. The Black Plagues, and they had that song, Ring Around the Rosies, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, you all fall down. That's actually from a plague that decomposes your body, the Black Plagues. So another form of a plague is that nuclear wind hitting your flesh. And you're being decimated based on that Fahrenheit, man. All right?
It say, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yep.
Because if you go into that term Sodom in the Hebrew, that means what? Burning. And Gomorrah in the Hebrew means what?
Submerging.
Submerging. So what would be submerged in fire? America. Hence the lake of fire.
It's a plague, man. There you go.
What does Sodom stand for in Hebrew?
Sodom goes, I can't remember the word, if you can get there. Sodom goes, the definition of Sodom in the Hebrew, that means burning. Right, from a spiritual sense, and Gomorrah means what? Submerged. So what would be submerged into fire? America.
Because you have something called underground cities, underground towns. That town has been submerged in water. Now, what's America called in Revelation? The lake of fire. Right. It's going to be submerged in fire. It's going to be submerged in a fiery lake. You know? So, hey, look, man. We're standing on a country with some fucking death row. Yep. All right?
It just in the Hebrew it's Sodom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost the same Sodom.
Burn right now.
Right.
What G is that?
This is Strong's H, 5467. It says, and the neighbor cities thereof, says the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell.
The neighbor cities. What's that? Chicago, New York, Jackson, Mississippi, Biloxi, Gulfport, New Orleans.
That's why I said, like, it's going to be like a line of confusion. You know? All right?
I got another. This Jeremiah 50 and 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder?
Hey, powerful words in these scriptures. How is America called the hammer of the earth? You got before and after pictures of countries in the Middle East. Before America invaded based off the War on Terror, and after America invaded, man. Only America is nefariously known for going throughout the world and crushing cities. And that's why it's called the hammer of the earth. What does the hammer does? It crushes. All right, so you have cities. You got Hiroshima, Nagasaki. They were crushed by the bombs of America. All right, you have countries that were invaded by America under the guise of fighting terrorism, and their whole cities have been decimated by the bombings of America, man. All right, you're the hammer of the earth, and you're an economic hammer. You're an oppressive hammer. You systemically oppress the nations. All right, in 2023, there should be no countries where people are starving. There should be no countries where there are sanctions. There should be no countries where humans are deprived of the basics of life. The basics of your livelihood. You're the hammer of the earth because you put countries in debt and you starve them out and you enslave them, man.
If I can add to you,
Let's go.
here it is. You got AI, that ChatGPT, that can write a resume for you, but you got starvation.
Right.
Like how you see the balance?
Yep.
You got all this high-tech technology. You know, you brag on your IQ. You got AI, like I say, they can write you a book. You know, a whole book based off, you know, the instructions you give it, but you got people starving on the same earth, man.
Malnourished. Because America wastes 40% of their food. Meanwhile, you got other countries starving.
I would say from a spiritual aspect, you go to that hammer, it goes to an agitator. You know how America spiritually agitate these other nations by their westernization. That's why it says that all nations have drunk the wine to raffle up fornication. So that Babylonian wine, you know. Because all these other nations, they left off their old ways of culture, they adopted the ways of this earth. You know?
And that Babylon juice is cheap liquor. So now these nations have spiritual hangovers, and they're not happy.
Then they check their pockets.
That's it.
You realize they wallets a little thin. Yep. That's why other countries have an epithet for you called the Great Satan. Any Eastern country, any traditional country, they look at America like how the scriptures look at America. Oh, this is Satan. This is a whore. You're gonna whore out my country.
It says, how is Babylon become a desolation amongst the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven.
That snare is ultimately going into that plague, nuclear destruction. Because Esau made his technology to destroy other countries, but the Most High is going to use the same technology to destroy him. That's the snare.
It said, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord.
How so? Your philosophies, your indoctrinations, right? Because you taught these other nations to become such a whore, such as you.
About what they call social subversion.
The Lord has opened his armor and has brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
What's his army? Those silos. I hear you have those military parades, for lack of better words. That's Yahweh's army. Yahweh said, I created the smith and brought the coals. Because in the ancient world, a smith would be a swordsman, right? And he'll take those coals and he'll take those elements of the earth and forge out a sword. The modern day sword is those missiles. Somebody hold 2nd Ezra 16th chapter the 13th verse. What Abraham said,
really that's how they control mass.
and the Most High does. The Most High put the spirit on him create that. Destroy his own self. Destroy his own self. But that's why you're called in Romans the 9th chapter the vessel of wrath fitted for destruction. You're the Most High's throwaway weapon. The Most High used you to be an example of wickedness. He used you all men have been trying to rule earth. He used you to be a chastising rod for the nation of Israel. Now after the Most High chastised us with you, now he got to dispose you. Everybody know about throwdown guns. Everybody know about that throwaway weapon. Yeah, you know about new. This shit was made to use and dispose.
Got bodies on it.
Yep.
And that's why Esau, he's codified within the scriptures as that two-ball pain.
Yep.
We're going to that traveling weapon.
The traveling dagger, man. Real quick.
Psalms 17 and 13. Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him,
Right.
cast him down, deliver my spirit from the wicked, which is your sword.
Deliver my soul from the wicked. Who's the wicked?
Esau, Edom.
And what's the proof for that?
Malachi 1.
They should be called the border of wickedness. Job, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. But it said, deliver my soul from the wicked. It's all white man, all right? Which is thy sword. So in Genesis the 27th chapter, when the Most High gave Esau his blessing through Isaac, he said, by thy sword shall thou rule. So the sword of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, the sword is so-called white man. People be known as Esau Edom.
And that proves that Yahweh Shah was Isaac. Because only Yahweh Shah can give you a blessing, which is a kingdom. Right? So ultimately in the spirit, Yahweh Shah, the blueprint of the Most High, created Esau Edom, as well as Satan.
There has to be an antagonist. All right? Go ahead, brother.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come in the time of the day, and they should be judged, and thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and the saints.
Because hey, the reason why the nations are upset, why? Because they're going down too. They're going down too for being in cahoots with Esau. Psalms the 83rd chapter, right? The dead. Let's talk about who? These kings of these other nations. What supports that? Isaiah chapter 14. How the dead should be stirred up. Let's talk about the kings of these other nations.
But it's only right because they came up with it. You know what I'm saying? Licking the swords. You know what I'm saying? So if they came up with Esau, you know, it's only right that they followed Esau. And they never said we're not going to partake in this their captivity. Yeah. They set up shop in our captivity.
So pretty much these other nations are like joint heirs to Esau. Joint heirs to
They're his prophets.
Them that fear thy name, small and great, should have destroyed them which destroy the earth.
Should destroy them, which destroy the earth. See, one thing about a 2/3, let's call him a nigga. A nigga, Javante, Dontavius, even Keisha. They're not dumping plastic off the ocean. Javante not responsible for thinning out the ozone layer. Javante not responsible for air pollution. noise, people are dying in inner city. Noise pollution. All right? People are dying from plastic in the ocean. The fish are dying from consuming microplastics. All right? A nigga ain't responsible for global mass death. The ultimate nigga, according to the Bible, is Esau. That's why the Most High said, I will destroy him, destroy the earth, man. He destroyed the natural order of man and woman, westernization, democracy, man. You destroyed the natural order of things, man. Not only did you physically destroy the earth, you morally destroyed the earth. You economically destroyed the systems that ran the earth. I'm going to destroy him who destroyed the earth.
That further proves in the spirit that serpent had to be a later Edomite. Because Adam had a kingdom at that time.
Right.
When he brought that philosophy in, such as now, hey, he destroyed the standard of the will of Yahweh Shem.
Well, I speak as a man. I was going back over the book of Esther. Haman, the son of Hagag, right? It was a vessel for the king of Persia. But if you go into it, he's like an advisor to the king of Persia, to the point where they call him father. So you can only surmise, you can only put together that in the book of Genesis, the serpent was like a vessel unto Adam, like an advisor. He could have been a wise man in Adam's court. But his intention, just like the king of Persia, was to overthrow the Persian Empire. So obviously his intention with the paradise at the time of Adam was to overthrow Adam. Because the serpent reincarnated, you know? So it only makes sense that he was really probably next to, how about myself right now? He was next to Adam as like an advisor, a wise man in his courts, a very cunning man, but he had an ulterior motive to overthrow his empire.
Hey, see, it's like on House of Dragon. This dude had basically like his hand. What you call it? Hey, House of Dragon, like his hands, man.
Yeah, the hand, the king.
The hand. Yeah. Basically, he like his body, like basically keep everything, like tell what he shouldn't do. You know, that's like saying he's off that way.
Because Adam, it tells you in the Apocrypha, Adam was the king of the earth. So how could he get that close to his woman? You know what I mean? How could he get that close to his woman? So he had to have been like an advisor. Right. All right, but like I said, in the book of Esther, Haman was an advisor to the king of Persia, but he was exposed for having an ulterior motive to overthrow the Persian Empire, which ultimately was a mission successful. Because it tells you that Haman was what? A Macedonian. Now who came after the Persian Empire? Philip of Macedonia, which is the father of Alexander the Great, who started the Grecian Empire. So it really, the whole vessel thing that you went into a while back, that's really the transition to replacing that kingdom. All right? All right, but did you have the book of Thessalonians?
Yep. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8, and it reads, and then shall the wicked be revealed.
Who's that wicked? Esau, Edom. And we just asked that through the spirit. Because you know the brother said the wicked was like Job 9:24, Malachi was. All right?
Whom the Lord will consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Showing you that great millstone, like you spoke out earlier, is not just physical destruction. Primarily it's physical destruction. But it's also spiritual destruction. All right, go ahead.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Yep, so in the chariots, the nuclear wind, but also said the spirit of his mouth, which is the word. So the word kills your eyes construct that you have on earth. The strongholds you used to call the Wizard of Oz. So that particular character, he had a projection that scared everybody. Or he's really like just a vulnerable, weak man. He had an eyes persona to the rest of the world that put everybody in fear. So Esau, Edom, through his Chesare Borgia, projecting himself as the Messiah, projecting himself as the Most High, projecting himself as all the great conquerors of the earth, they created an eyes persona about himself. So when the Yahweh said, I will destroy him with the spirit of my mouth, right, that's dissipating that eyes complex that you have on the planet Earth. Now people are looking at you like, you're not that guy. Now, ain't nobody really tripping over a so-called white man no more. You know what I mean?
Fear, no. Yep. The fear they had, and basically, they had that fear. Soon they dropped that bomb on
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, soon they dropped it on them. People feared them.
But now, like you say, like that's exactly what I'm talking about. Shit, we got Mr. That's it though. So now they don't give a fuck about Esau. Pull up with the spirit.
Verse 9, and it reads, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan.
Because you always get into this. How did you come into power? Ultimately speaking, how about Hashem and Hawashai? Psalm 75, the Most High is the judge. He put him down one to set up another. But how did he fulfill that? He allowed you to tap into that witchcraft. Esau Edom down into the dark arts of the Canaanites. Here's the Knights Templar. Here's the Freemasons. He went into, when we was ruling as the Freemasons, he went into our science. And that's how he was able to get into becoming a kingdom. All right? So, is it who's working is after who's coming? It's after the working of Satan. It's after the workings of witchcraft. You laid out your America through what? Witchcraft. The blueprint to Washington, D.C. I heard a brother say like America's basically a Ouija board.
That shows you that Esau had to bow down to Satan in his blessing. That's the reason why Yahushua basically combated him with the scriptures 3 times, right? Because Yahushua will not bow. But that proved Esau bowed down because basically now Satan can be summoned by the Rothschilds. Like they literally have a table and an empty seat where the spiritual being Satan comes and inspires them to promote wickedness.
Because they're the top sorcerers on earth. Because you always come into power through an entity, through a deity. That's why you have human sacrifices and everything, because throughout the history of man, people will sacrifice to a deity to keep famine from happening to their country, so they can win wars. So what makes the elites different? They sacrifice to Baphomet. They're the closest to Baphomet, which is Satan.
Even him, it's verse 9 again, says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yep, these technology, this propaganda, you know. Go ahead.
And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
That's 2/3. That's 2/3 in America, and then that's the non-elect scattered about the
Verse 11, and it reads, and for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion.
What's a delusion? A delusion is a fixed idea about something that's not true, such as the American dream.
George Carlin say, make comedian. In order for you to believe the American dream, you gotta be asleep. You gotta be asleep.
That they should believe a lie. That's like you said, that's going into believing in, making America great again. They actually believe this, man. With all the signs and all the penny pointing towards this place is done. You didn't accept it, LGBT. You made that lawful to be out here swinging back and forth. You done made it lawful. You're on the verge of making it lawful to be a predator to children. You made it lawful for you to be out here, talking about, bad trees and your pets. And we know in Jude, and the book of Jude, where it says that Sodom and Gomorrah was set forth as an example for any nation to participate in that damn abomination. So, all the signs point to the destruction.
What was that scripture? I don't know which one it all. They said, this the man that made earth tremble.
Isaiah 14 and 17.
No, we saw it.
Isaiah 14.
Yeah, Isaiah 14, 16.
I got you, bro.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 10, starting at verse 4. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Nah, because your thoughts is too busy focusing on the new world order.
The brothers read, this place will be made the biggest desert on earth, man. You see a world map in the kingdom of
Not
America.
gift is the sword, Jacob's gift is the Most High. The Jacob's gift is being in tune with Yahweh Bashman.
His ways are grievous, thy judgments are far above of his sight.
Right, and see, that's the ultimate proof
because it's
of this future
the
teaching.
standard of
It will be
Yahweh
controlled, and
Anybody
by the
basically
biblical
the spirit of the Most High finds his
They are
ways
not
grievous.
named Pharaoh,
So wake up and to know your spirit that's a vexation within itself. This world is getting worse. If you compare the state of this world 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it's not the
it wasn't like this 10 years ago. Shit, we barely 30, 40.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this 15 years ago. Yeah, like this world is darkly weird now. All right, so more to that, brother.
Oh man, I used to be able to play, go outside and play for the street lights come on. Now you don't even want your children to leave your fucking yard.
Weirdos, like
Weirdos, man. Got this, like you said, this place is around wickedness, witchcraft, man. This fucking devil set the stage for you to. Jake ain't the one goddamn setting up the system of child sex trafficking and shit, man. Jake ain't the one goddamn poisoning the goddamn the air and injecting you with shit, giving you cancer and killing you, man. Putting GMO in the food and painting it and fucking man. Bringing the drugs over here together, man. Jake ain't the one stealing country, but we the thieves. When you talk about a thief for the robber, the first thing you think about is stealing.
and that's
Jake.
And you put us in that position to do something.
But now we know you're a psychopath. I don't mean to point at you, but now we know you're a psychopath because that's what psychopaths do. They deflect. That's what a sociopath do. What a sociopath, he has to get a scapegoat. So meanwhile, while they rob the earth of its resources and everything else, he puts us on the news as being a bad guy. You know?
Like before the come over here, they'll take him to the room. And I watched it on TikTok. They'll take him to the room. Basically, they counseling him.
That's how you can travel there, not walking on the
Basically, see them niggas, hood on, this and that.
By the way,
With the ridiculous. So they really coach them. They really coach them saying like, stay with them. And you know what I'm saying? Look,
case in point, not all of us are so-called Negroes.
and I get them, they probably most of them watching.
Contrary to
And
how
they see us,
we look.
walk by,
And we come in
out the door.
all colors,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
But hey,
But when you look at the reality of the lives on the news, Jake ain't over there in Cuba, Ukraine, and all that stealing resources and shit, man. Jake ain't starting wars with other countries and shit, man. Taking taxes and shit on them, man. Changes and shit.
in North America, Babylon the Great. That's also why you have a lot of our people across the U.S. Mexican border.
Back in Psalm chapter 10, verse 6, he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity.
Like I'm on rule forever. Even the Most High himself will say that's how crazy, deranged, psychotic that this man is, man.
Hubris.
That's right.
Unjustifiable, unreasonable pride.
That's right, bro.
But a lot of our people think that this man is one of the feet.
I would say even like with that movie Titanic, what they say, even God himself can't save the ship. You believe it?
And how did the Most High seek that man? Leviathan.
And what's the modern day Titanic? America.
Yeah,
So he's gonna do the same.
and the prophets playing them violins. Like the song is over.
Coming down the ship.
Yeah.
Verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. His tongue,
Your way of running the earth, because it's called the way of the wicked. Your way is westernization, and it's totally contrary to existence. All right, and we're not being biased by saying your way isn't right. We're comparing it to the laws. And if you go into the laws, it's systems put in place to reproduce life. Male and female reproduces life. You know, generational wealth and heirs. It's the way of Yahweh Shema Shai. It reproduces life. But 2 men and 2 women, or 2, you know what I mean? That doesn't reproduce life.
It don't work.
It doesn't work. It has to engender. Your way is inconsistent with the existence.
Two negatives. Like
2 negatives, yeah.
It's basically 2 negatives.
Yeah, because it has to be a yin. It has to be this. It has to be that, man. It ain't. Yeah. But that's basics.
That's a big electronics.
And you look at how that sperm hit that egg, it's like electricity.
Look. I did plumbing, right? They have a female, male boy. God damn it, look. Hey, we ain't crazy. We ain't crazy.
You jumpstart a battery, you got a positive and a negative.
Negative, come on,
And
man.
he knows that. And then for Jake to set up like the 4 corners of the world and including America, there's no such thing as what they call generational wealth. Because with the drug that time it means race happiness. And we would never be happy as a so-called race because of the curses. And Esau knows this, and that's the reason why the Most High put him in a position to oppress us as a nation. because we have to be sane by the same person that put us in this situation.
Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Right? So we have Joseph.
So it's Isaiah 13, and we're going to start at 14. We're going to start at 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellence.
Everybody wanted to come to America in the 70s, in the 80s, in the early 90s, and 50s. Right.
Because the immigrant era was the 1800s to the 20th century.
That's right.
You know, the Statue of Liberty era. That's right. Hey, so this movie, bro.
Titanic. Yeah, oh God, by the Titanic. Look how wrong. Look at that boy.
1950s were considered. Right. Now, so the 1950s were considered as the golden age.
That's when the rest is perfect, man.
Say what Babylon's been
Yeah,
at golden cup.
That's what I was saying.
That's right. She hit the wall.
It started when she set up her satellites in space. That's an Obadiah first shot.
Shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And if I could add, when you do Sodom more by way of fire and brimstone, all right, and one of the key components to making up a new is sulfur, and another name for sulfur is brimstone. So that's brimstone and it destroys in fire. So right there, fire and brimstone. And then we can, book of Jeremiah, we're going to start at 40. We're going to start at 14. And we read, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations.
Who is that? That's going into what the EU spoken of in Revelation, the 17th chapter. Then you got Russia, China, okay, Iran. All right? Go ahead.
From the north country.
That's right.
And
Hey,
they
they're from the north country. That's Russia. That is Russia. My man, that's Russia. Go ahead.
And they shall set themselves in array against us.
Military formations.
From thence she shall be taken.
Right. From how so? Because the Most High is going to put on the spirit of these so-called Edomites, which are Russians, to send that nuclear destruction over here.
Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
So the Most High is going to be in that Denzel Washington spirit. What is that? Surgical wisdom. Go ahead.
God, go to the 14th verse. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about.
I mean, the Lord is going to allow these nations to go to triumph on the
Hey, but you know what it really is, bro? If I may add, it's stoning. Because when the brother broke it down on it, one of the brothers didn't really stone. But it's a public stoning. It's a public execution. Because in the ancient world, when you get stoned, everybody's surrounded you. And then you get stoned by the elders, all right? So what happened is America being personified as a woman who committed whoredom, she's about to get stoned by nuclear missiles, which are basically stones. You know, it's a public execution.
Remember the elders wanted to stone that lady? In the scriptures, they
Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about.
Because they're about to get concerned for the public stoning, man.
All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows.
All you countries that have nuclear capability.
For she have sinned against Yahweh.
She have sinned against Yahweh. What she's done to the 12 tribes, how she's run the earth. Brother, we get 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, the 13th verse. This is going to be a global stoning.
This 2nd Ezra 16 verse 13. For strong is this right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. They should not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world.
So what ends of the world? First of all, who is talking about? There's no circles. His right hand that bendeth the bow. What is the bow? All right? The bow is the shallows. And the arrows are the missiles. Shot to the end of the earth. Like you said, maybe Russia, China, Iran, Korea. All right, but that's all on the east side. End of the earth is the west.
To rule your point, what they have called those missiles intercontinental. I see. Hey, when you break that down, that means across land. So, like you're saying, from one end of the world to the other.
The strongest is white man that been in the boat, you know? So that shows you it's going to be a public stoning, a public execution. A whole country, it's like a whole continent is going to get stoned to death. All right, and that's the execution of the great war of the earth. People be known as Babylon, modern day America, man. All right? Isaiah 34:1. Come here, nations, to hear the heart of the people. Let the earth hear all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies.
And what proves that? What, Joel, the 2nd chapter? The 3rd chapter? Why? Because the most basically is going to have them go into, what is it, the battle of Jehoshaphat. The battle of Jehoshaphat. You know?
Because after America destroyed, now they're about to fight over power. They got the main power seat out of power, but now they're going to fight over power. So after we get this, we get Joel the 2nd chapter, Joel the 3rd chapter, 2nd Ezra the 3rd chapter. Right? He had utterly destroyed them and have delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come upon all their carcasses.
This talks about individuals that's down on the other side. Because remember, America's going to be under these scrolls. So there's not going to be no stinking bodies.
And the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. And that's the effect of a thermonuclear missile. They got actual frames. All right, that's the water, bro. That's the heaven coming together as a scroll. You know how you roll a scroll or unroll it? It's like the heavens coming together as a scroll. And that's what they saw in their vision because they didn't have nuclear missile in their vocabulary, in their Hebrew context. All right, that's why Ezra, they referred to those, he saw those missiles flying, and he said arrows. Because the word missile wasn't in the Hebrew vocabulary. All right?
I would say those mushroom clouds is going to soak up all the impurities. That's a part of those that mushroom clouds going to turn to a scroll. Other things out here out of course.
The Most High is about to sludge earth. You know, you got a house that's sticky or whatever. You got wrong for your house. You smudge it out and smudge it. Sage kills all the bacteria. So the Most High about to sage the earth, man. The thermonuclear smoke, right? And then fire is going to reset the soil. Not in America, but in Earth, in third world world, a lot of farmers they'll set their acres on fire to regenerate the soil. So the thermonuclear fire, the Most High is going to regenerate the soil on Earth. They're going to expand. It's going to expand. Right? It's a reset. Fire is a reset. It's a cleanser. Right? And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the vine. Yeah, planes falling out the fucking sky. Fighter pilots and fighter jets, man. All right? And as a fallen fig from a fig tree, right? Verse 5 it said, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Yep. And what's the sword being bathed in heaven? All right, thermonuclear missiles coming down from that fucking ozone layer back into this atmosphere, man. Being bathed in heaven. And the Most High got away with words, man. Hey,
the sky's going to be covered with missiles, man.
My sword should be bathed in heaven.
Yeah. And when you bathe, you cover in water.
Right. Because it's going to go through the different water levels. It's going to be bathed in heaven and come back down.
A small glimpse of that's 300. And all those arrows came down on the nights.
Behold, it shall come down upon Adumia, and upon the people of my curse to judge them. Now, to judge them, go back to that third world war. All right, so who's the people of this curse? Going back to Genesis 4th chapter, 15th verse, and he cursed them with their leprosy as a mark saying, hey, you know, if anybody put his hands on Cain, you know, but showing you the people of the curse. You know?
I want to say that curse in Genesis the 4th chapter, it goes into a distinguishing mark. Meaning that the Most High was eventually going to strip him from his reputation.
And ultimately, fucking salvation. That was like a foreshadowing. Because before European colonization, before the Renaissance period, this was normal. This was normal. Having people, you're earth, you come from the earth, you like the earth, that was normal. So if you had leprosy, all right, that was an anomaly in the environment. If somebody in your clan or your tribe came out with blonde hair, blue eyes, no pigment, we call it albinism today. In ancient world, there was leprosy. So these are people of the curse, because he's alert, he's cursed with leprosy, man. You know?
If I can just say, I was just thinking about what you were saying about how the mills is going to be bathed in heaven, right? And you know, the first death will have raindrops. People start bugging out because they ain't never seen it before. All those mills is going to be like, you know, that same type of deals, like a bunch of raindrops, man. People going to see it and they're going to be bugging out.
The head of the Birmingham, R1, he broke that. Those raindrops is indicative of those mills. Like every drop came with a splash.
Yeah.
And it's a mini version of Revelation 18 when he dropped the millstone in the ocean, he created the splash, plus the balance of the way to the Let's go, man.
But basically,
yep. So, verse 6 said, the sword of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness. I think somebody just said in Isaiah, where it says in ancient times when men fought, it was with swords.
everybody's a book on earth. The Lord read everybody, man. You know, we all got stories.
He said, they meat that fall off the bone. You know what I'm talking about? The chicken meat that fall off the bone. Let's go, man. And with the blood of lambs and goats. Yep. And with the fat of kidneys and rams.
This is referred to people, you know? These undesirables, man. That's why the scriptures say that the Lord has to sacrifice within bodies.
Because the first Bible is America, but it's going to extend to the other countries. But then, hey, it said the Most High created the multitude in vain. So there are people on earth that's meant to be missile food. The bishop got to hear something. You heard that? You heard that? And there could have been a desert bird. There could have been like a scavenger bird. Ezekiel 39. Ezekiel 39. You know? Ezekiel 39, post-World War. I've gathered a great feast for these scavenger birds to feed on carcasses. I know out there where we stay, we driving, we see some roadkill, and you see that buzzard grab that fucking roadkill and drag it off the road, man. Oh, hey, these vultures, these buzzards, they're going to have the time of their life post-World War III. So let's go, man. It said, for the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, have a sacrifice impossible, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, man. Like I said, that great slaughter starts with a thing. But it's going to go into World War III and those different countries. But it's rooted on the land of Israel. That's your house. All right? Fucking wrong, man. All right, so you know that. But you got a blue piece. Hey, okay, come. Okay, for sure.
This is Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood.
Now, what is confused means to mix? To get confused. Infusion of yelling, infusion of crying, grabbing.
Would that be similar to a tumult?
To what? Like a tumult? Yeah. You know, you watch those ancient movies where they're in battle.
Spartacus 300.
Yeah, the grounds be shaking. Yeah. 50,000 men on this side, 50,000, they all clash into each other.
Swords, clashing, orders being yelled at. Right. People getting thrust through, horses, people fleeing, garments, bloody battle, garments rolled in blood. There's a lot going on.
Heads rolling.
People getting ran over by horses, smashed.
People traumatized, their legs missing.
Screaming out.
Can you start from the top again?
It's Isaiah 9:5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Thermonuclear missiles, man. Because World War III, it's going to be it's a tech war, man. You know, it's not 100,000 men on this side and 100,000 swinging swords, man. It's not even going to be like the Vietnam War or World War I, World War II. All right, when we was in the trenches going against each other. All right, or this, what do you call it? Like different platoons. No, it's going to be planes. It's going to be missiles, man. All right, go ahead. This is Yahweh Bahasham Yahshua's judgment on earth, man.
Joel 2:1.
That's what this book is about. It's not about Christianity. It's not about God is love, which God is love. The Most High is love, but He's also hate.
It's a balance.
He's justice. He's judgment. He's indignation, which is righteous anger.
This is gonna be the war. That's gonna be in all war.
It's a just way. And whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. It is your time, baby. That's all. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. So we're at the end of our captivity and the beginning of your captivity. That's all.
It's Joel, chapter 2, starting at 1, and we read, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound in the Lord.
That's what we're doing. And when the prophets are prophesying, that trumpet is being blown.
And sound an alarm in my holy mountain.
And we're letting you know that WW3 is close, that the Revelation 13, 16, Revelation 13 and 17 is about to be mandated.
Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds.
And the reason why it's been classified like that, because it's going to be a lot of death.
Yep, and the clouds and darkness and gloominess is the effect of those thermonuclear missiles being taken out the sun.
Knocking out the sky, which will block out light.
And of thick darkness, as of the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. Not talking about a people.
And those are missiles being personified as an army of people. All right, because just how people, armies are in array, they have their platoons and their ranking orders. The missiles are going to have their ranking orders. When they're shot off, they're going to have their trajectories and the targets. All right.
There have not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it.
Because there was never, pursuant to Isaiah 9:5, there was never a World War III where missiles are being shot off intercontinental. All right.
All right. Even to the years of many generations.
Even to the years of many generations. All right. And like Einstein said, y'all put it up, bro. You know, you can keep reading, bro, till you get it.
A fire devours before them, and a flame, and behind them, a flame burning. Because we know a nuke destroys in fire. All right, so that's a fire going before them. Boom, they destroy in fire, and they get shot. That's how you know he's describing a nuclear missile. There's a flame going behind them. Isaiah say that a fiery flying serpent when he was trying to describe that nuclear missile. A fiery flying serpent, he was seeing that nuke leave out that knob, that silo, and then wave and get on point, and then also navigate around the other nuclear defense systems.
The Most High Spirit don't be on there.
Right. Scripture says he's a consuming fire.
Right. And the fire behind them, because why? That's the technology to perform them. And then the head is before them.
Right? Isn't that a scripture where there was a missile with an angel battle? It's sort of.
The land is as a garden of Eden before them.
And this is metaphors and a similes to the Most High uses, man.
It's a perfect state before destruction.
Yeah, man. Just think about all the movies that show like the San Francisco Bridge. It shows the city of New York from a helicopter point of view. It is the Garden of Eden before the missiles hit it with us.
And behind them a desolate wilderness.
So before the missiles hit, it's the regular ground. After it's fucking desert.
Even when the so-called Native Americans came over, they called it paradise.
Well, those pioneers, those so-called pioneers, they romanticized America. There was a particular genre of art that was created to display the beauty of America. Like you said, it was like the Garden of Eden. We don't even really know about it, but like the pre-Columbian America was like the Garden of Eden. And not just North America, but Central and South America, man. So that's a good point.
Okay, a paradise. Like right here in Babylon, you have what you want, Fiji water, a cold spring, any type of what you want, the balance, pH level 9.5 or higher. We was going over this before. You want Greek food, you want Chinese food, you want Japanese food, you want German
German engineering, which was Japanese engineering. You want to be cold, or you want to go another part. You want to be warm, or you know what I mean? It's built up as a garden of Eden. And but behind them, that's what
Hey, Amazon Prime, you get a package sent to your door that day.
One day.
And that really was something that was belonging to like the king's court. Usually, like in the ancient times, only people that had status could get something ordered from another country. Get a perfume ordered from another country. The average American citizen, even if you're low income, you get something Amazon Prime to your house, you get Uber Eats to your house, you get Uber everywhere. So we all living like royalty, even on a lower level, you know?
That's why when they take the binky out, so to speak, or snatch the rug out from under your feet, it's gonna be so easy for people to take the MOTB, man, because America is so catered to, man. You know what I'm saying? They're so dependent.
Hey, we're addicted. Americans are addicted to convenience.
Yeah.
We're addicted to convenience. Yep. The average American can't patiently grow a garden and patiently wait on the food to harvest.
Not self-sufficient.
They're not self-sufficient.
Go back to they can't wait in the line. So if you can take that goddamn it and just skip it, and whoop whoop, and all that, it's like that.
Jeremiah 49:31. Arise, get you up unto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care.
That's America. America's careless. And what does the scripture say? Pride comes before a fall. Because careless is a form of pride, man. Because you don't store food. Like in a traditional environment, when you have harvest, you store food. Because you don't know if it's going to be a famine. You can't afford to waste food. So that's why your grandma had preservatives. You made that jelly preserve. You got them wine. You got them grapes that made wine. You took whatever you had and stored it, man. We used to think like that. We just know we're going to wake up and go to a grocery store.
You have a lot of these modern women, they look down upon their leftovers.
Yep.
That's right. Don't eat them. It's that wealthy nation that dwelleth without care. And it says, which have neither gates nor bars, which dwell alone.
You got it, brother.
Hey, yeah, and then from a spiritual standpoint, let's talk about how like America doesn't have a missile defense system, right? And then also the thing is said back in the ancient times, you had to go through gates and things of that nature, like Troy. In order for Achilles and them to invade the city of Troy, they had to go through that gate, but it had to be sent as a package. But with America, there's no walls. You can go from Alabama to Louisiana without any trouble.
On that movie, no, they had great, you know what I'm saying? Walls.
Yeah.
They had some tall walls, so that they couldn't really, they could do it, but you know, but they walls so tall they couldn't do it. So they had to go through that gate. Yeah.
So America's pretty much open through the spirit. Ready to get that cherry pop.
And we go by what the Spirit say, ain't what we say. We ain't come up with it.
Hey, so
What were we? Basically, like this.
you get the Einstein.
This was Albert Einstein. He stated, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones."
Yeah, because basically Einstein was saying, after World War III, we're going back to the Stone Age. We're going back to a primitive state. All those nuclear missiles, what? They got movies like The Road, which shows, and the Book of Eli, that shows the effect of one nuclear missile. It just sent everybody back to really like the 1800s, like the fucking, you remember the frontier days? It's a reset. One missile hit a reset. No, it reminds me like the Book of Eli reminds me of those frontier days.
Yeah.
When everybody's on horse carriages going across America, like making an effort to find like settlements and stuff, those pre-settlement eras, man. So it says after World War III, World War IV, we fought sticks and stones.
I got you. Can I bring out something, bro? Hey, just to match you. Isaiah 2:4. And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore.
Because after World War I, it's going to be the ushering of Yahweh's kingdom. That kingdom, they're going to go. I'm sorry. After World War I, we're going to go into the. After World War III,
Hey, get some no.
Yeah. After World War III, the kingdom is going to be translated to Yahweh.
That's it.
And economies are going to go from manufacturing things to create weapons to manufacturing things for agriculture. Because, hey, as a matter of fact, somebody said in scripture, there's going to be the earth is quiet after the taking of Babylon. Because you hear these cars behind us, you go to like bigger cities, there's like 10 million people in one city, all that's going to be played out. The earth is going to go back to a quiet, what do you call it, agrarian society. Agrarian is where everything is built off agriculture. So it's not going to be fast food. It's not going to be this hustle and bustle. We're going to go back to an agrarian society where you wait for food to grow. It's going to be farmers markets. All right, it's going to be family oriented. All right, this is the result of Esau's high-tech caveman. This is a high-tech caveman kingdom. You see? You say something, brother?
No, you're so right. That's why Elon Musk, he knows what the brother y'all are talking about right now. Elon Musk is buying nothing but farmland right now. He owns over 40 million acres. Bill Gates too. Bill Gates too. They buying all nothing but farmland. And so when that time of the Great War and the earth being destroyed by nuclear weapons, they control all the food.
That's right.
Really, that's going to happen before.
They already ahead of us.
Yeah, that's going into Jacob's trouble and the activation of Revelation 13 and 16. Now remember, the day of the Lord, hey, when the day of the Lord comes, automatically missiles going to be sent over here. So if they got land over here now, it's going to be destroyed.
Yep.
And then a lot of these elite people, hey, don't get it twisted, they're moving to Singapore because they know America is through. Like a lot of these CEOs from these 500 Fortune companies, they left 2 or 3 years ago because they're saying that the dollar is done. So now, if you smart, you have got your American money and you are converted into like, go to the DR, where you can have, back in the day, it was like, well, $1,000 was worth 40K in their money. Why not?
They doing it right now. They're getting rid of Cash App and all that, and then our government is coming up with one cash in the form of Cash App. Right now, where they control all the money.
They killed your boy. You know they killed that boy.
Yeah, that's right. When he came, you sold.
When they knocked him out, they changed the Cash App structure.
The Cash App guy, and the other guy, they died 2 days before. PayPal.
I think it was PayPal.
PayPal and Cash App. Those 2 guys died a day apart.
They didn't want to give in.
That's all about.
That's what it's all about. So they probably offered them, you know what I'm saying, some loot. They didn't want to sell it. You know what I'm saying? They said, you know what, we're going to kill you and take it in. Or murder you and take it in.
And then they keep trying to say, and he was like, dude, sister, underground sex trafficking. Underground like a, so her brother killed them. You know, I'm trying to look at shit so you don't look at the real reason.
That's why y'all don't have a crowd out there. They think you coming with a false message. And they'll paint that. And they don't take men.
And I don't know if y'all remember Bruce Lee, but Enter the Dragon, hey, Bruce Lee master told him basically destroy the illusions. Then you will see the enemy. So what Esau does is basically he put all this propaganda out there. But at the end of the day, you have to destroy these illusions with the sword of the Lord. That's why at the end of Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee started breaking them goddamn mirrors because he was destroying those illusions, and finally the devil couldn't run no more because those illusions was destroyed, so therefore you couldn't hide behind it.
Right, bro.
And that's what we're doing through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah. We're pulling down these strongholds, which are nothing but illusions.
And like the veil.
Where you put that.
The veil.
That's it.
Man, y'all say that's so beautiful.
I like the way you
All
put
praise
that.
Yahweh Shem Shah.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Let's get back to Joel.
Joel 2 and 4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses.
Because in the ancient world, in battle array, the horses are arrayed. All right, so the appearance of missiles, like the appearance of horses, it says they have all battle arrays.
Powerful.
They're powerful.
Galloping.
We got something called horsepower. He says galloping, right?
And as horsemen, so shall they run.
Yep.
Like the noise of chariots on the tops of a mountain.
Yep.
On the tops of mountains shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the smoke.
It says that they leap. And that's the missile ascending out of the Shiloh. All right? Go ahead.
As a strong people set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pain.
I'm going to say, when you go into that term pain, it means anxiety to both. Imagine Leonidas when he saw them damn missiles coming. He didn't, I mean, not missiles, but those arrows coming. Yeah, he was nervous, man. And when these people,
death is coming.
Death is coming. When these people realize that these missiles will be shot on America, there's no escape. They're gonna have anxiety. You know?
A lot of people have heart attacks. Men's hearts failing up from here. They said men should be as women. So women stand on chance.
Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men.
Because of anxiety and nervousness. That's the reason why.
They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march, every one on his own ways.
His own ways, he has a trajectory. Every missile has a trajectory. He has a calculated target to hit. They should not miss.
And they shall not break their ranks, neither shall one thrust another. They shall.
Because the spirit of Yahweh Shem shots will be upon those nuclear missiles. Every designated target that Yahweh Shem shot was going to hit. Christ says, our power is a consuming fire. So his spirit's going to be upon those nuclear missiles. All those nuclear missiles are made of elements. That's right, bro.
They shall walk every one in his path.
Right.
And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Meaning what? If they do bump into each other, they're going to keep going. To the designated target.
Yep.
So if it's meant to hit Kazakh or Jackson and two just bump into each other, it's still going to Jackson, Kazakh.
And that's the secret of the 21st century. That's the secret of the present world. This place called America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear. That's the secret behind the veil. The veil is the matrix, the false reality that has our mind and our goals tapped into the entertainment world, tapped into women, tapped into all type of distractions. Yep, but the secret behind the veil is this place is destined for destruction in a very short period of time. All right.
They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall.
And that's basically getting everything within this country, man.
They shall climb up upon the houses. Yep. They shall enter at the windows like a thief.
Man, if they gonna call, he say, hey man, I'm on my way to your couch.
The earth shall quake before them. The heaven shall tremble.
Isaiah,
somebody help me out, bro.
A to and fro.
The earth should reel to and fro like a drunkard. So when those missiles go from the Russian world, Russia, Korea, China, to the Americas, the earth gonna reel to and fro like a drunkard. That's gonna make this. Hey, I had this song go from Tyler the Creator. You make my earth quake. Well, but anyway, the earth gonna reel to and fro like a drunkard, man. I thought everybody knew that song. All right.
Real quick. And this Haggai 2:6. For thus said the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens, and the earth, and the sea, and the dry land.
And it's not talking about the spiritual world heaven. You got three heavens. All right, you got heaven, this man's kingdom. You got the ozone, the heaven. All right, the stars. All right, then you got the spiritual world heaven. So the heavens gonna shake. Basically, this existence. Planet Earth is gonna shake, man. All right.
And just to prove his point, 2 Corinthians 12:12. I knew a man in Mashiach above 14 years ago, whether in the body I cannot tell, or whether out of the body I cannot tell. The Most High knows, such an one come up to the third heaven.
And that third heaven was the spirit world, paradise. It was referred to as paradise, but when it says that this heaven is going to be shaken, it's talking about the heaven up under the ozone layer. Okay? Verse 7. As a result of thermal, hey, we're going to be scared. It's in this flesh. especially be saved, our women will send into a chariot. We're going to be looking down, watching America get destroyed. We will see a glass called the ozone layer.
And they said the righteous shall scarcely be saved. Hey, when you go into that term scarcely, I looked it up, it means in the nick of time. You remember those old Indiana Jones movies? When that damn door about to shut down, he barely made it out. That's how we gonna be saved in the nick of time. Meaning you gonna see the missiles coming down as you're being ascended up.
Yes, sir.
And they find out like what can they save? What are they saved from? Like what had happened and they saved? Have nothing happened and they saved? We don't know. Lord will be always part of that man and we'll be saved. I think the shit gonna go down. Lord will be saved. Lord will be the guys the Lord chose.
That's why Apostle Paul said, Elder, just to back you up, that we might see. Hell, he did the good. He fought the good fight still said that we might be saved.
Don't you know that we're entering into the second death? The first death was the flood, the great deluge. They created 7 continents. Because before the first death, it was all land. All right, there was one continent, Pangea. So that's Greek for like all land. All right, the first death was based off the wickedness that was on the earth, restored to Genesis 6 chapter. All right, Genesis 6 chapter. So the first death is the reason why there was once water in the Grand Canyon. The first death is the reason, like I said, there's we have oil, right? In the Middle East, we have oil. Where does that oil come from? Fossil fuels. What fossils? All these animals died at the same time? Yes, they did. What catastrophic event caused all these animals to die at the same time? The first death.
That's what happened to so-called dinosaurs.
That's what happened to so-called dinosaurs. That's why the layers is just dozens or tons of animals packed on top of each other, which over a period of time they created fossil fuels. But those fossil fuels came from animals that all died at one time based on one major event. So that's the impact of 2 deaths that's going to happen in the existence of man. The first death was the great flood. The second death is what we're about to enter.
And this is Hebrews 13:8. Yahweh Shah Mashiach the same yesterday and today and forever. And the reason why I brought that out, because just like the Most High designed everybody to die, except for the elect, the first death, then you're going to have that second death. And the only people that will escape the second death are the elect. It's the same thing.
Yep. Especially out of America.
But that doesn't mean you don't die. Only the elect basically will be not phased by that second death.
We believe that's why Antarctica is iceberg. You know, you have Greenland iceberg. That's the result of that first death. Like I said, that first death impacted us today. The first death, like I said, is why you got to go on the ship to go to a different continent. You got to go on a plane to go to a different continent. The wickedness of Adam is the reason why the earth has hurricanes and tsunamis. All right, we're still in a phase of death based off the transgression of Adam. All right, but that second death is going to supersede that first death. Because missiles, fire is a whole lot more impactful than water. Concentrated fire. It's the secret. But look, in 40 days, the water evaporated, it went back down. But it's going to be a lot more than 40 days to get the earth back right. All right, after this fire. All right.
The elect will be inside those chariots for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then once the elect start to settle down, they're going to the churches all over again. Remember, the Most High changes now. So you have first death, now you're going to have a second death, and just like when we left out of Egypt in the wilderness, it's going to be the same thing. And I speculate it's probably the spirit of Hashem Shah is either South Africa like the Muslims teach, or somewhere in South America. I'm leaning towards South America.
I'm leaning towards that too. So you said that the whole Jeremiah 16 and 14. You get your scripture coming, because you know,
Israel gonna be tossed up too, though. So you know, it gonna be burned up too. So we gotta we ain't gonna go right into it.
It's gonna be a period of time.
Yeah,
we don't know. That's why Scripture said, we prophesy in part.
Smoke shop off forever for the destruction of Babylon. That's not forever.
Exactly. It's a classic. Just like, you know, you got these music, let's say you got music that came out 50 years ago. You still talking about it? It's the same way we're talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Just like you you say, that smoke is gonna stop, but it's still gonna be a classical event where you can always teach God. That's everlasting. That's everlasting.
Question. Revelation, what you talking about? Like in Revelation 20 to 21, where you talk about when they come back and they lock the beast up for 1,000 years. And then you were talking about we were going to suffer, and then brother was talking about how the Israelites were wandering in the desert for 40 years. Is that pretty much, is that the same? Because you were in the Old Testament. And that's prevalent.
Well, it's talking about different times. So,
yeah, because I heard you when you were saying about the great flood. Right, that's the first. And then leads to the fire again. I'm just putting it all together. I'm putting it all together because it's like that chariot. He said, you know, he'll come back on the chariot. That's that missile. You know,
no, the chariot is actually a father ship. Okay, so think about this. You know, like Noah and the at that time frame, his family was the elect. They lived out of the ship, right? All right. So Lord will, Yahweh is coming back in that promise, and he's going to deliver the elect. So, like the elder was saying, you had the first death that was promoted by water. So now Yahweh is coming back because of the second death, which would be promoted by fire. You see what I'm saying? Okay. We're going to break it down.
This book of Revelation 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand.
Right. Now this bottomless pit is talking about what? That's talking about Europe, right? Because Europe has what? No resources. Right? Europe at this time frame has to receive gas and fuel from Russia. Right? So the bottomless pit is talking about Europe, and the reason why it's talking about Europe because of the lack of resources. Right? Read that again, bro.
And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit.
Right, and that angel goes, hey, keep going.
And a great chain in his hand.
Right, go ahead.
And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan.
Now that's talking about the pagan Rome Empire, right? But remember, the pagan Rome Empire went down because of what? The Dark Ages. Remember, after the pagan Rome Empire went down, then you had what? The medieval time. You had the Dark Ages. That's why when you go to Malachi 1:4, Esau said, "What? I'm gonna rebuild in his heart." Going back into what? The Renaissance. That's how he came back. After a lot of time. Go ahead, bro.
And it says that old serpent. And are you all familiar with the show Spartacus?
Yeah, I've seen the show.
You know, one of the first episodes was called the Red Serpent. Who were they going against? The Roman Empire. Right. Now, that's what Red Serpent represents.
Right. Pagan Rome Empire.
Right. And it says that he laid hold on the dragon, the old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years.
Meaning what, this man was in captivity for 1,000 years. And when you go home, research the time frame of the Dark Ages, it's going to tell you it lasted for like 1,000 years. That's what that's about.
Now when people was ruling Europe.
Yeah.
That's why they call it the Dark Ages.
That's right. King James was Jake. Carolina was Jake. That shit y'all really watching on Netflix. She was like the last of his lineage. And how so-called Queen Elizabeth got in. Basically, her great-grandfather married into the grandmother.
Dark age, right? But school will tell you like dark age, like plagues, but they make it seem like it's all about plagues instead of showing like the black people like
from about 325 AD to around the 1300s, our people ruled Europe. Yeah, we were under different guises like the Moors, the Christians, and they were all Israelite sons of Jacob. British goes back to covenant, man of the covenant. Now, who received that covenant? Isaac, the Israelites. Anglo-Saxon means what? Angelic sons of Isaac. So these are all so-called black people, Southern Kingdom, all right, ruling Europe during the Dark Ages. And the reason why there's not like rich information on the Dark Ages is because the so-called white man was taking a major L. He was in a primitive state.
Them folks don't want to give us nothing.
Say it again?
I said them folks don't want to give us nothing.
Fuck them, man.
They don't want to give us
But
nothing.
your enemy ain't gonna tell you when you had your foot up his ass You know what I mean? He gonna tell us in school. Yeah, school. Yeah. So it's like it'll put that confidence back in us. So I don't expect my enemy to tell me when I was on top. He gonna create the illusion he was on top the whole time. But the most I he gonna do everything at the end. Okay.
I guess that goes back to when they say whoever wins the war, right?
Yes. Because if that man was lit like that, he would have gave information about the Dark Ages. But if you notice, he never really talks about the Dark Ages. Because you got this book called The Golden Age of the Moors, right? That's right. And it tells you when we had cathedrals and we had lit cities, he was out there in dark roads, man. We taught him how to eat with a fork. All right, we civilized them. We taught him how to wash his ass because at that time, there were stories of like the hairy man. There was legends of the hairy man. The hairy man was who? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. But we were under religions called Islam, Christianity, and we had civilizations. We had architectural feats. We had engineering feats. I'm sorry, brother. That's why you had the place called Timbuktu.
The book, I read that book.
Yeah, Timbuktu, Babylon and Timbuktu. All right, if you watch the second edition of Roots, the newer edition, what happened? Kunta Kinte wanted to go to Timbuktu. His family was like, nah, you're part of this tribe. You gotta stay here, find your wife, you're a hunter, you're a warrior. He wanted to go to, was that a school full of crackers? No, that was one of our prestigious universities. That's where it was held at, Timbuktu. Because during the golden age of the Moors was the center of the universe, and that's where everybody would go to studies. All right, and we had botanical information on the plants. Jake was very well known for his knowledge of the constellations because we were traveling through ships. But Jake our people was famous for that. All right, but Esau was taking L's back then.
You all familiar with this book right here? Nature Knows.
I got that book. Yeah,
by J.A. Rogers. Rogers, it goes into how people ruled in Belgium, Russia, all parts of Europe. Like right here on page 125, you got right here Jake in the 17th century in Holland, big old drummers on horses. You know what I'm saying? So our people wearing turbans and these
I noticed I buy a lot of those books and read them. And on Amazon, whenever I guess the people see a lot of people, they go up in price.
How they know how people are poor, in general, so they're not gonna be able to afford those type of information.
And we got those books for like $13. Now some of those books are $1,000, $500, $200.
If I could just add real quick, during the medieval times, don't get it twisted. As the transatlantic slave trade was being initiated, you still had Jake and Paul. So a lot of people get confused, even our people. So even with the activation of the transatlantic slave trade, you still had Jake ruling over in Europe. And to prove that point, this comes from the manifesto of Benjamin Franklin, and this is what he said, which leads me to add one remark that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionally very small. All Africa is black or Tony. Asia chiefly Tony, America won't be so. And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, and Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion.
Swarthy meaning black.
There you go. That shows you we were ruling.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something that Elder Kazak speculated. No, this is I wrote, and he said he speculated that Arnold Schwarzenegger might go back to Jake. But I mean, your last name got Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And you got like that,
Yeah.
I mean, when Jake fall in love with you, like everybody wants to be like Arnold, like Terminator. But yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger lineage probably goes back to Israelites. Like I say this as a man.
But look how he dominated the what you call it, the muscle building. Yeah, only Jake can do that.
How the fuck you gonna stand out?
Hey,
come on.
Hey, look, the thing about it, he was so cocky. He was cocky as fuck when you watch it, the documentary like Pump. But he was cocky. And think about it, when he did his shit, they couldn't fuck with him. He did his shit in the way he do it.
I mean, hey, it's all in your like. If your last name is like Morrison, literally means son of the Moor. Your name is Maurice. goes back to Moors, Stewards. It's another one too. It's like that book has a list of names that goes back to Moors, man.
And also, when we came on the slave ships and stuff like that, you know, we had Hebrew last names. And even if you do the research, even in New York, when we died, we would face the east. That shows you who we are. That's in New York. When we first came over here, we was facing the east.
Well, you watched that movie, you already know what I'm about to say, Amistad.
Yeah.
When Jake took over the ships, all right, they took over those Spaniards, and they had a short celebration. They put the turbans on their heads. They turned, I believe, to the east, and they said, Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. And Steven Spielberg was Stephen King. Steven Spielberg wrote that movie. He got ripped into the water. But they turned, after they took over their ship, they put them turbans on, they faced to the east, and said, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. Now his real name is Yahweh. But they're not going to send it in the movie. But best believe they turned to the east. Yahweh, Yahweh. And Buddy, the actor, I forget his name, he was looking at the constellations. We were steering that ship because there was a knowledge that we had not only in Israel, but when we penetrated Europe. We was famous for that. Have a knowledge of the constellations. That's how he knew how to steer the ship. Man.
Abraham taught them fucking Arabs. Yeah. Abraham. I'm tripping. Yeah, Egyptian. I'm tripping. Yeah. Hey, Daniel 6 and 10, real fast.
What is it?
Daniel 6 and 10. Because remember I said about the caskets facing east, right? Hey, this is Daniel 6 and 10. Now when Daniel knew that he was writing with, it's like it. Now when Daniel knew that he was writing with sign, he went into his house and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem. He kneeled on his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his power as he did aforetime. Now the point is, he opened his chamber toward Jerusalem. Jerusalem is facing east. So when you pray, we're supposed to be facing east. That's why when you look it up in the spirit, when we came over here and died, the caskets was facing east. That shows you who we are.
Hey, and that shows you too that the Muslims got their religion from us. Because the Muslims are known for praying 3 times a day or 5 times a day. But they got that from Daniel. They got that from the Hebrews. Because Daniel was in captivity praying to Jerusalem. The Muslims prayed to the Mecca. But we blueprinted their religion. And I was watching one documentary on YouTube.
Can I say something? Yep. To prove your point, we see basically the reason why we came up with their religion, because basically we didn't want to take it through war. You know what I'm saying? So we used the religion to control the minds, so we could actually basically get that land, our land, back from them without the art of fighting. But they started believing into it.
Yep. Hey.
I think it was Khadijah, Morocco. Morocco was that Israelite that taught, what's his name? Their founder? Muhammad. It was Morocco and Khadijah, man.
Yeah, Muhammad basically plagiarized, their whole religion. They used to worship like 365 gods, like one for like each day. And they saw us, and they said, you know what, we like the fact of serving one power. So they switched it, and Allah, the moon god.
He was literate. He couldn't read. Because like I said, Jake was the center of the universe during those dark ages, man. And I was gonna make a point. I heard a Ishmaelite Muslim say we got the concept of praying for multiple times a day from the Hebrews, for the Jews. I said that was our thing, praying. That's why if you study their culture, they have a lot of beauty in their culture. Not saying the philosophies of their religion, but how they move. They got it from Israel, the Hebrews, man.
Because even in the Quran tells you to follow the scriptures. And then the big blue ones, when they think basically they're going to get, when they kill themselves, them big blue ones is talking about little boys, man. Yeah. I forgot I used to research that. It's talking them, so they think they get virgins of little boys, man.
I think also in the Quran, it also speaks that the Israelites are the chosen, nation.
It's a book in there, yeah. So why would we read that shit?
Hey man, what? Hey, Farrakhan know who we are. He said he's Hey, well, Farrakhan, man, I was going into the diet, man. Farrakhan wasn't just talking about swine. He was talking about catfish, shrimp. He was talking about how we should eat catfish, shrimp, how they're ugly. We're not supposed to ingest it. But he always references the Bible. Because he knows. But he under that 501c3. He paid off, but he knows. And it's on the spirit. The older he gets, pours on his spirit, he just want to come out and say it.
Because he's scared, you know, you got to die.
Yep.
Hey, go back to Revelation, so you can get some understanding.
Oh, yeah.
And so Revelation 20:2, he laid hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan.
So that's the pagan Roman Empire. They're thrown out of rulership.
Yep.
And then you had the Dark Ages.
Bound him 1,000 years.
Go ahead.
And cast him into the bottomless pit.
Like in Europe, that's the bottomless pit. The reason why it's classified as the bottomless pit because of the lack of resources. To prove that Europe has to get gas from Russia. Go ahead.
And shut him up and set a seal upon him.
Right.
That he should deceive the nations no more.
Right.
And that was from around 325 AD to around 1300, going into the Renaissance period. Renaissance meaning rebirth. Rebirth of the Roman Empire. That 1,000 years. That fulfills 1,000 years. Fulfills 1,000 years.
And then you can link that up with Malachi 1 and 4. You know, we were revealed. That's the Renaissance.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Deceiving the world. And he's still deceiving the world. He's still doing the same. Still telling lies.
Let's back him up. He says, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season.
That's talking about the Renaissance.
Right now.
That's talking about right now. From the Renaissance period up until right now. Yeah.
So, brothers, do you see this knowledge increasing throughout the earth as we get
Oh, yeah,
big time?
Well, all praise to you. Hey, all praise to Yahweh Shem Shah. You have great millstone camps all throughout the United States as well as in these other countries.
When we first came into the knowledge, we could count how many camps on our hand. When we first woke up, the wave I woke up with, we could count how many GMS camps were under that pocket. You had a Texas camp. At that time, you had a New Orleans camp. You had a California camp. We had like 5 camps that you could count on one hand. Chicago, it's like 5, 6 camps you count like in 2007, 2008, 2008. So now you can't count the camps on 2 hands. You have camps worldwide. And not only the camps, everybody in the cities where those camps are, they know we Israelites. Like it's no more like, hey man, you know you're an Israelite, right? They know, I know I'm an Israelite. Yeah, they know. So like, hey, yeah, the unicorn of internet. Yeah. So, hey, the knowledge is dramatically increased to answer your question.
Let's just finish it out.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return.
In the Dark Ages, you can apply that to the Dark Ages. Return how? The Renaissance.
But we will return and build the desolate places.
Places. Meaning where? Until a kingdom. Until a kingdom. Go ahead.
Thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Right. And that's going into what? Ultimately, the destruction of their so-called current kingdom.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh had indignation forever.
Righteous anger. Why? Because they're classified as the wicked. Go back to Revelation 20.
And you know, in wicked,
Revelation 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more.
So at the allotted time for 1,000 years, they was in power. Why? Because the Most High set up in the spirit. So through Yahweh Shai, he gave this man a kingdom. Through Yahweh Shai, he's going to take back his kingdom or destroy his kingdom. Go ahead, bro.
Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
So we're in this time frame, we're in the end of Esau's rulership. Go ahead.
After that, he must be loose a little season.
Go ahead, continue.
And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them.
Now this is going into what? The Yahweh Shai's kingdom. What proves that? Get Matthew 19:26. Keep going, support.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai.
Meaning you're going to have the elect that's going to die for this truth. Hence the term martyrs, which means a person that dies or willing to die in what he believes, right? Beheaded. What's going to do that? The instrument is called what? The guillotine. When you go into that term beheaded, a definition is when your head is chopped off by an axe. That's the modern day guillotine. This prophecy didn't happen during the ancient time 2,000 years ago. How do you know? Because they associate the mark with this prophecy. So it's not talking about when prophets were beheaded. No, it's talking about the present time that we're coming to. Go ahead.
And for the word of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and which have not worshipped the beast.
Worship going into your participation within this system. Your belief system is going to lead you to what? Receiving Revelation 14, 16, 17, if Yahweh Shem Shah is not with you. Go ahead.
Neither his image.
Right, the image is talking about what? This system. And this current system is based on what? The pagan Rome Empire. And the pagan Rome Empire system goes back to the worship of Colossus regarding Hammer. Ham. All that shit goes back to Ham. Satanism goes back to Ham.
Right. That's why it's known as the image of the beast. That's why it's patterned after ancient Rome, the ways of America.
I'd like to make a quick point, because some will argue that there's not Jake in West Africa. It's mostly Jake in West Africa. Then you go into West Africa, they into like hoodoo, or whatever, voodoo.
They into something called the Hand too, which is another form of Santeria, right? Or what they call Palo, Cuban, and it gets into the Yoruba tribe, Jake. Now they used to practice that, like a lot of that, and they're from the West Coast of Africa as well.
But the reason why I brought that out, because it tells you in the scriptures, roughly paraphrasing, that Jake practiced the traditions of the people that the Most High sent them to. So the cultures that the places where the Most High sent us to serve captivity, we picked up on their religion. So when we penetrated Africa, best believe our people picked up on their customs. So these are Israelites practicing Hamite customs. That's the only point I wanted to make.
Beautiful, bro. So our scripture said that you was once Gentiles.
Yep, right.
So back in Revelation 20 and 4. And it says, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh.
That's the elect. So yes, you're going to have the elect to die for this truth. However, the elect will not die because of the second death. So you're going to have the elect and the non-elect, as well as people from the other nations to be corrected from the grave to basically be judged by that second death. That's in the book of John. Go ahead, bro.
And for the word of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, which have not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads.
Now the mark is talking about what the Quran is spoken of in Revelation 13 and 17. So at this time frame, the apostles 2,000 years ago did not know anything about the Quran.
That's why the scripture said the mystery of iniquity.
That's right.
You know, it wasn't revealed at that time.
It wasn't revealed. They didn't even know who the Edomites were. They didn't know the Romans were Esau back then. Go ahead, bro.
Are in their hands, and they live and reign with Yahweh 1,000 years.
Now see, bro, now you see how Revelation 1 through, Revelation 21 through 3, it jumped. It went from what? We talk about ancient times, and then verse 4 is talking about this current time, as well as the kingdom of Yahweh. Those 1,000 years is going into the development stages of the kingdom. So the elect, the 144,000, will assist Yahweh in recreating the world. Setting up, just like going back into Genesis, the first chapter. That's why Yahweh told the elect that what he told the disciples, you have been with me from the beginning. When you go into Genesis, get Genesis the first chapter. When you go into Genesis the first chapter, that means a lot coming. Yeah. Genesis the first chapter, bro. And you gotta put yourself over here, bro.
Beginning?
Yeah. I just wanna make it.
This is Genesis 1 and 1.
Get that. You good with me from the beginning? Go ahead, bro.
In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth.
Not God. In the Hebrew, the Elohim, which means judges. When you go into the Hebrew, that means judges or rulers. Talking about Yahweh Shai and the elected angels. Right. Going into what? The 144,000. Go ahead. In the beginning, now, what did he say again?
In the beginning.
Yeah, go now, jump to your precept.
John 15:27. Yeah. You should also bear witness because you have been with me from the beginning.
Talk about the same individuals that assisted him in making the world and creating the world.
That's the true meaning of day one.
Yeah.
Day one. Then it ends in Revelation. The same thing is in Revelation 22 when he's talking about there'll be a new heaven and earth.
That's them.
And that's them that's coming back to 144,000.
Beginning with the 144,000, but you're going to have men, women, and children on them ships too.
I got it. What's going to say how they follow the Lamb, whithersoever you go.
Having a spiritual mindset. Go ahead, bro.
In the beginning, Elohim created the heaven and the earth.
Right.
And the earth was without formed and void.
Go ahead.
And darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Go ahead. That's before they manipulated the elements. Going by the blueprint of the Most High. Go ahead.
And the spirit was high, moved upon the face of the water.
Now, when you go into that term, moved on the face of the water, that means what? That Yahweh Shai and the elected angels were in chariots, so-called UFOs. Because when you go into that term, moved in the Hebrew, a definition means hover. They were hovering around in them chariots and them father ships. So they was inside of the father ships, right? Where Yahweh Shai was inside their father ships, or inside of individual chariots. Right? The chariots, that technology has always been here. When you look up that term, move in the Hebrew again, it goes into hover. What hovers around? The chariots. Like a bumblebee will hover around a flower.
It goes into Noah too, because they say they left the earth and they looked back upon the earth, so they had left the earth.
Was it Noah?
Yeah.
No. Noah was like in an actual ark. Like these, like Yahweh Shai. Yeah, or a ship, which is a ship. But it's spiritual. These spaceships are ships. But this is like Noah was in an actual ark that he built. A boat, a ship, water.
Yeah. So
Right?
is that like a metaphor?
No, that actually happened.
No, I'm with you. I'm just asking a question to get some clarity.
Well, no. What's your question again?
It's like, because they say he left, I guess he was talking about the earth was being destroyed, and he left that behind then.
But he was on the water.
Yeah, he was on the water.
Right. And the water said, what's that word? Dissipate?
Yeah.
When it goes down, so it's as though you left the earth.
Okay, there we go.
But he was still in the physical realm, but on a lot of water.
Okay, all right.
Like a big old boat. Basically just
left the earth.
Back you up real quick. This is Strong's H 7363. And this is for the word move. The brother was talking about move on the water. And it's rahab. And it means to hover.
To hover. So Yahweh Shai was inside a chariot, manipulating the elements. You know, because remember, and the elder always break this down. How you break it down, like how it's nothing but water. The heavens is nothing but water.
That's right.
You know, it's all it is, man.
And that brings that scripture home, man, for real.
Praise Yahweh Shai.
It does. You said Strong's H7363?
Yeah, so you had Yahweh Shai and the 144,000. They moved on the waters. Basically, they was coming from space or from the third heaven, basically into this earthly realm, manipulating what we see now. And they were inside of father ships.
The word heaven in the Hebrew is Shemayim. Shemayim. But like Mayim goes into water.
That's it.
You know? So we're separated by waters. When I say separate, like the globe of the earth and outer space is separated with waters.
And what separates them? The firmament.
Firmament.
The firmament separates them. What they call it? Ozone layer. The ozone layer separates them.
Yeah. When you think about it, like if you swim, before you go, so say you swim, before you go, pressure build up. Say you go in space, probably the pressure probably,
right.
Yeah. Say you gonna be like I swim a 15-foot pool from. Before you go, the pressure builds. Think when you go in space, your air starts thinner, you get thinner out. So it's different.
Those are the bounds too.
Yeah.
Hey, can I bring somebody over for you? Jay, you can break it down. And this is Genesis 1:7 in the NLT. I'll say it in verse 6. Then the Alehayim said, let there be a space between the waters to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth.
Right, that's the ozone layer.
That's it. Verse 7. And then it was happened, the Alehayim made this space to separate the waters of the earth from the waters of the heaven, and the Alehayim called the space sky. And the Alehayim called the space sky, and evening passed and morning came, marking the second day. That's it.
And I'm entertaining my mind. If the earth was flat, so I read it from flat earth. If the earth was flat, the Most High wouldn't have to separate. How would you separate the size of the earth? Like if the earth was flat, you understand what I'm saying? I understand that we need the sky on top of the earth. What about the size of the earth? So what separates? It doesn't make sense. It will make it a cube. They'll make it a cube. So what will be what parts of the freaking sky will be like vertical? There have to be vertical sky. It don't make fucking sense, bro. So no, it only makes sense if it's a sphere. It's a sphere separated by water.
That's why, like, if you go to like, say you in California, right? You won't go to China, right? So why would the fuck you go from China, from California, go all around this way, instead you go California to China here? It's there.
It's right there.
It's right there.
I mean, from the Wright brothers, right? 1911. How many pilots have we had since 1911? Somebody would have leaked out a video.
Yeah.
You know? Somebody would have leaked out a video, man.
It's right there, like so China here, California there. You make that like 5 hours, maybe. You go over here, like California, that way, that's fucking 20-some hours.
Can I ask you a question, sir? Were you a pilot? I saw the shirt.
No, I was there. I was an infantry guy in the army.
Oh, okay.
Jump out of the airplane.
You jumped out of the airplane, but I'm quite sure the Earth had some type of curvature when you was in the airplane, right? I mean, I don't know how high you were, but
1,200 feet.
1,200 feet? Well, look, I don't know. I'm not good with measurements, but at the same time, somebody would have looked out a video. The Earth was flat. It doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, 120-story building.
Right, or the 1,200 feet.
That's right.
Got you.
These submarines,
Pretty high jump.
if the Earth is flat, the submarines eventually will have to come to a dead end.
Fall out.
Fall off.
Yeah.
Something, man. Water will fall off.
That's what I'm saying.
Where's the waterfall? But I believe the elites came up with that as a red herring, as a distraction, just mixing the confusion. You know?
Hey, and just for some more clarification, when you go to the Hebrew for that firmament, it does have sky. And the sky is defined as an unobstructed view upward from the surface of the earth. It includes the atmosphere and outer space. It may also be considered a place between the ground and outer space, thus distinct from outer space. So at the end of the day, the firmament is actually talking about the sky. That's what separates the first heaven from the second heaven. The first heaven from the second heaven. I misspoken. I said the ozone layer, but no, it's the sky.
I got a question, brothers. Maybe you can answer it. I was curious about the so-called Jewish man. He's over in Israel and he's in front of the Wailing Wall doing this.
I know what you said.
But the Bible speaks of, if that's the actual wall, doesn't the Bible speak of that he said he shall throw down and not one rock shall be left upon another?
Yeah, that was talking about actually what you're talking about with Matthew 24 chapter. That's talking about the destruction of Jerusalem. Shall prophesied then 40 years before 70 AD.
Okay.
And the pagan Roman Empire came and took over.
Okay.
You know, that's what this one into. Keep going.
So should that Wailing Wall, the Wailing Wall that they prop up in front of the parade, should that be erected? Is that part of the?
No, because you're the temple. We're the temple.
Okay.
Get that.
That's right. Hey, don't think Jews don't even mess with Yahweh.
They don't believe in Yahweh. They say he came here.
They're the ones that wanted them executed.
And they didn't
really the real Jews, the Hebrews, so-called black people, wanted Yahweh executed.
Yeah.
Those are imports that came to Jerusalem in 1948. So they weren't even in Jerusalem when Yahweh walked the earth.
And that's why I got that book, the Balfour Declaration.
Yep.
It talks about this.
That's right. That's right.
In reality, they really not supposed to be in the land, really. Because the Lord's going to take you out of the land and bring you back into this land. So they ain't supposed to be over there, really. So basically, they took upon themselves. We the people. Lord this, Lord that. So they put this in there for this.
1 Corinthians 3:16.
Right.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you?
Keep going.
If any man defile his temple, it's like if any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy.
So the reason why we had the temples back in ancient time, why? To receive the presence of the Most High. But through Yahweh Shah being that ultimate sacrifice, that perfect sacrifice, now we're the temple. And Yahweh Shah dwells within us. Yahweh Shah dwells within us because we have access to him through Yahweh Shah. So we're the temples. The temple, hey, Acts 7 and 48, remember that? Get Acts 7 and 48 real quick.
Right, okay.
Yeah, old throwback. When I first came in, the league used to let me bring that out all the time.
When I came in, you told me about that too.
Yeah.
Acts 7:48, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, that said the prophet.
Because he dwells in us, the elect. Go away, we the elect. 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. What? Know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit which is in you, which you have of the Most High, and you are not of your own. And that's why you shouldn't smoke.
That's
A
right.
person should smoke because you defile your temple. Again, we receive the presence of the Most High via Yahushua. Because when you break down the Holy Spirit, bro, the Holy Spirit is nothing but this information from Yahweh through Yahushua administered by the angels. Where proves that? Revelation 1 and 1. You know? So when you get these thoughts to come and count, or when you get these thoughts to look up some things related to the Spirit, that's the Holy Spirit within you.
Then why can't these Christians relate this Acts 7:48 rather than fill these churches Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after
Yes, it's money. Hey, more members, more money. More members, more money. The more people, that's why they expand their business. So that's why when I grew up in a church, a lot of times the sermon will be built upon having a challenge. Hey, bring your sorority sisters in. Bring your frat brothers in. Because the more potential members, the more people paying tights, and the more money you got in your pocket. So it's a business.
Oh, you had one, oh, my bad, no.
Well, it's always been a thing to make merchandise out of the people.
That's right.
And that's what they do. Like I said, the more people, the more, the more money. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have more battles or whatever. I went down to Pastor such and such church, and he had 100 more members. And so we gonna do it big this Sunday. That type of thing.
You had another question too, one more about basically as the truth circulated the world. Right? Get there, bro.
Just the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 14.
Right.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world.
This gospel, somebody has to have this gospel. Let's talk about this gospel.
For a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And the reason why, because all nations, you got Israelites within all nations, as well as these other nations has to receive this word too, because that's how the Most High is going to pronounce judgment on. He's not going to judge you without you hearing this word. So everybody's going to hear this word.
So that also entails that Christianity can't be the religion, because Christianity is throughout the world.
Hey, I don't know if you used to listen to Tupac, but what he said, I'm still here.
Right.
So it can't be this gospel. But what they talk about in the form of Christianity, no, it's this gospel. I've been laughing at me all day. Go ahead, bro.
And this Baruch 4:36.
Right.
O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east.
Right.
And behold,
Toward the east again, go ahead.
and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the heavenly Father Yahweh. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west.
Now, we want to break down Matthew. Not Matthew, but Psalms 19. Psalms 19 talks about the internet, about that cord. With that cord is talking about the World Wide Web. Because when you look that up in the Hebrew, it's quanah. And when you break down that term network, a network ain't nothing but a bundle of cords going into the internet. So the Most High projected his word utilizing satellites. Hence the platform of YouTube. YouTube was designed for the prophets, so the word of the Most High can circulate the world, four corners of the world. Last precept, Isaiah 19. About the small sanctuaries. Oh, it's not that bad. Small sanctuaries.
So Ezekiel, this is Ezekiel 11:16. Therefore thus said the Lord power, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they should come.
So this is a little sanctuary, bro.
Altars.
That's right. And what makes it hey, get Isaiah 19. Hey, get Isaiah 19.
So Isaiah 19:18, and that they should 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan.
The land of Egypt is referring to America. 5 cities is spiritual number for power. The language of Canaan, speaking in the Hebrew, Yahweh Hashem Al-Shah.
And swear to the Lord of hosts, one should be called the city of destruction.
That's it. So basically, because of these small sanctuaries, we upload videos onto YouTube, and those YouTube videos are presented throughout the four corners of the world. You know, beginning with the apostles of Great Millstone, trickling down. So yes, this gospel basically is circulating the four corners of the world. Personally, I think the elect has been received the word, but they haven't been activated yet. Because the scripture says once they're activated, then the end will come. So that's how we know.
All right, and with that, we hope you brothers and sisters who are tuning in are edified. Once again, we want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakabadash.
double honors for our elder, apostles and elder, bishops of Great Millstone Rule well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. A power bomb. Shalom.
Shalom.
Can I find out where you guys gonna be next week so I can come? Hey.
Oh.